scary movie. What's your favorite scary movie?
Welcome, foolish mortals. Today we're going to take a look at one of the most amazing, unique, original meta films ever created, which is Scream. Scream was released in 1996 under Dimension Films and Miramax, which again Disney owned at the time, so technicality it counts. So Ghostface should really be the next Disney princess after all. I actually never got into these films until recently, a couple years ago, with the relaunch of the Scream TV series. Then I became obsessed, and Ghostface is my favorite horror icon. I love him so much. And there are 3 of these films. It is a franchise, so you have Scream 1, Scream 2, and Scream 3. And all 3 of them are owned under Disney's reign. But I don't have time to talk about all of them, so I just wanted to at least highlight Scream because it's a genius film. And we have so many other amazing Halloween films to talk about by Disney. But I say if you love Scream, watch all of them because they're amazing. And they did have a 4th one that came out in 2011, which starred Emma Roberts. And that one is also as amazing as the other ones that came out beforehand.
What is your favorite scary movie?
What's your favorite scary movie?
One generation's tragedy is the next one's a joke.
What is your favorite scary movie, man?
I'll show you.
The TV series was released in 2015 on MTV, and it has 2 seasons. They were supposed to continue onwards with the same story for the 3rd season, but nothing ever happened. Apparently it's still in production. It hasn't been officially canceled, but there has been no word on it in a couple of years, and if anything they're going to start with a new story but continue the show. So I'm not sure really what's going on with that, but that's not the highlight of what we're talking about. We are focusing on the original film in '96. We do have a really amazing all-star cast in this one. We have Neve Campbell and Skeet Ulrich, who were our main stars. Skeet Ulrich is currently in Riverdale.
Wow, got it. FP is actually Billy from Scream. He didn't really die, but escaped, changed his name, and started a new life. It would explain Jughead's affinity for movies. That's my answer to that.
He is Jughead's father, who is Cole Sprouse, who was also a very famous Disney Channel star, so I like being able to connect everything together. And otherwise, he was chosen for this role because he was a poor man's Johnny Depp. Because Johnny Depp was in Nightmare on Elm Street, they wanted to find someone to resemble him because this movie is filled with so many references to the previous slasher films of the time. We also have Courtney Cox and David Arquette, who met on the set and ended up falling in love, getting married. Unfortunately, they got divorced later on, but it's still a really cool love story. And obviously we know Courtney Cox from Friends because she's Monica, and David Arquette was in the wonderful, terrible Shark Boy and Lava Girl we talked about.
Your mother's right. When you go to sleep and close your eyes, they may come back. When you open them again, Shark Girl and Lava Boy will be...
And then finally we have Rose McGowan, Jamie Kennedy, Matthew Lillard, who is also Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, and Drew Barrymore to round out. So we have so many people in this cast that are really, really well-known names. And Henry Winkler is also in it, and I forgot about him. Whenever you have a huge cast, people are gonna die.
You hang up on me again, I'll gut you like a fish, understand? Yeah.
Is this some kind of joke?
More of a game, really.
This film basically takes whatever you know about slasher films and twists it around. And there's so many references to Freddy Krueger, to Halloween, and anything in between that. And everything is so meta. They literally have this, the screenplay is so brilliant. It was written by Kevin Williamson, and he actually went on to do all of the sequels and also wrote on the television series, so he stayed within it. And it was directed by the legendary Wes Craven, late great Wes Craven, who also worked on Nightmare on Elm Street. He's a legendary horror director, and he's done other stuff besides horror, but he's best known for his horror. It's just so smart. There is a lot of the gore and slasher tendencies of it, but everything's fresh, everything's unique. They talk about the rules in every horror film.
Certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no-no!
And they basically are making fun of horror film while still having a very, very unique horror film. And I love its meta quality. It's honestly one of the best films I've seen. It is definitely one of my all-time favorite films. So I have nothing but praise for it, but it's really brilliant. And it's really fun to know that this is technically under Disney, because it's everything that Disney tries to avoid and stay away from. I wanted to be able to highlight a couple of legit horror films before we get back to our Disney horror films. It's Halloween. You have to respect the wonderful horror icons that we have today. And I'm so happy to be able to have Ghostface. But we're gonna continue on tomorrow and talk about some of our attraction-based films. And we're gonna talk about the Tower of Terror tomorrow, so you can stay tuned. And as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.